Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 3 on the Getaway crossing of the Atlantic. Unshaven and unshowered, but here we are. I got up a little bit early and began walking around the ship. Interesting, it was a stormy night. It is still windy and rainy out. It's clearing up a little, but there was thunder and lightning last night. We did not hear it because we're in an inside stateroom. We have the smallest, cheapest way to travel, but it's still very nice. We're very, very happy with it. But the decks are all closed this morning. They won't let people outside because it's so wet and so windy out there. But hopefully later in the day we'll be able to go outside. A couple of highlights from yesterday. Yesterday was our day at Great Stirrup Cay, which is Norwegian's private island. And the ship comes in close, and then they use what are called tenders. You get on a 2-deck transfer boat that takes, probably a couple hundred people at a time to the island. It was rainy all day yesterday morning, and so when we got there, we walked through the rain to the big canopy areas they've got where people can eat. And when the buffet opened, we of course ate, and then we walked down to the beach and sat under an umbrella in the rain. And then there was a Bacardi rum shack that was open, so I went and I had a pina colada on a beach in the Caribbean. I mean, you might as well, right? Kind of fun. One of the things that's fun about cruising is that you start talking to people, and you don't want to be the person who's always the first to start talking and the last to stop talking. But you're sitting somewhere and you're talking to folks and you say, oh, so where are you from? On the tender yesterday, going to the island, we sat next to a mother and daughter, retired mother looked like, and a middle-aged daughter, who were from England, and they travel a lot to the United States. It turns out this mother is in several official choirs, and she actually sang at one of the special events supporting around Charles's coronation here just a few weeks ago. So kind of fun to talk to a member there. I asked her, so I don't suppose you sang I Vow to Thee My Country, huh? Because the first time I ever heard I Vow to Thee My Country, which I love, beautiful song, was at Diana's funeral. And so I figured things did not end well between Charles and Diana. He's probably not going to have her song sung at his coronation. But she did not sing at that time, but she sang it at someplace else. And she wasn't actually at the coronation singing there, but there were some special events they had going around surrounding the coronation that she did sing for. And we both kind of agreed we don't really much care for Harry and Meghan, but hey, that's another story. One of the things, by the way, of I Vow to Thee My Country, next time you listen to that hymn, instead of listening to it as our devotion to our country, listen to those words as Jesus' devotion to his people. That's really a powerful way of hearing that song, that it's Jesus singing that he will give it all for the sake of those to whom he's committed himself. Really a nice way to listen to that hymn. Okay, then let's see what I was going to tell you about. Last night, Andrea, I'm going to tell you kind of maybe an unpleasant story, but might as well. We had our free meal at one of the specialty restaurants. When you cruise, there's the buffets and the nice restaurants. You can go in or off the menu, they're all complimentary. But there's also a series like 7 or 8 specialty restaurants. They're very nice restaurants. Last night we went to the Italian one. We had to make reservations for it in advance and had a fantastic meal. I would not have ordered a lamb shank, but we happened to be visiting with a couple yesterday, and the guy said, man, I had the lamb shank last night. It was phenomenal. So I thought, you know what? I don't eat that much, so I had that. I ate that. Well, that was like course 4 in this meal. And this would have been a pricey meal if we'd been paying for it. The lamb shank itself was $33. The spaghetti that I had in before it, which was really good, it was kind of this white cream. Oh man, it was served as an appetizer, but it was a nice portion. That would have been $19. There was also calamari, which is squid. I didn't know I was ordering squid, but it was very good. Man, it was good. But I ate a lot. We were so full, we didn't even have dessert. And the guys filling my wine glass the whole town. While we're there, 2 things. One is, the couple next to us, I said, where are you folks from? They're from North Carolina. Well, we're in North Dakota. We start visiting, and they travel in what's called the Haven. The Haven is the deluxe rooms at the top, 2 stories, 2 decks near the front of the ship. They've got their own pool. They have their own butlers. They're much larger rooms. It's a very deluxe way to travel. And while we're visiting with this couple, they said, yeah, you know what? We can invite guests up to the Haven to join us. Would you like to join us? And my first reaction was, no, 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 we don't need to do that. And they said, well, we'd like to have you. And I thought, you know what? Sometimes it's polite to receive a gift when it's offered. So I said, yeah. So they gave us their room number. We called them and set up a time we're going to eat up at the Haven on this cruise. A very nice visit there. Now there's a downside to that big meal last night, okay? After we go to the meal, we go to this some of the evening entertainment. They got some fantastic evening entertainment at different venues. Last night it was a rock staff that does a rock band, 4 singers. They took turns leading. It's just excellent with a follow-up band like I'm Sailing Away. Oh man, it was so much fun to listen to that. Anyway, so I had a beer there, okay? So I've had this huge meal, had a bunch of wine, had my beer afterwards. And last night, folks, I'm in bed and I burp and it all starts to come up. I'm not vomiting it, but it's like this bile, okay? And you're going, this is not what I wanted to hear about, but I learned a lesson. Don't eat that much food that late at night. So I went in the bathroom, spit it all out, brushed my teeth, went back to bed and propped myself up on pillows because I wanted to keep the food down. Now this morning I feel a whole lot better. I didn't sleep especially well last night. But those are the adventures you have when you're on a cruise ship. Now I've learned. Be careful about my food intake, especially later in the day. Okay, that's my cruise tip for the day. Otherwise, you might wake up in the middle of the night. Okay, which that's as much as I'll say about that. And you folks have a good day. If you see this, I've finally gotten on Wi-Fi on the ship and figured out how that it downloads okay, and we'll move from there. You guys take care. Goodbye and God bless. Bye bye.